Lewis! 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 Mom! 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 Mommy! 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 Mama! 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 Ma! 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 Mom! 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 Mommy! Mommy! Mama! Mama! Mama!
What?
Hi.
This is why Mom doesn't fucking love you!
I can give you all the things that you wanted before. If you listen.
Welcome to Orsini's Uncensored Mind, and now your host, AJ Orsini.
How the hell is everybody? This is AJ Orsini, robot voice, meet Mert Zorb, and this is Orsini's Uncensored Mind, and you are listening to episode 34. Now, if you're listening to this and you're saying to yourself, what the fuck is an Orsini Uncensored Mind, and you came here by accident, please about face turn the fuck around and please go on and leave at this point in time and juncture. If you are here intentionally, thank you for downloading, thank you for listening. This is Orsini's Uncensored Mind. We are here with episode 34, and I don't know what I should even begin to get started with on this. I got a whole fucking notepad here in front of me just full of shit. Not a legal pad because it's not 1987, but I do have a Microsoft Word document in front of me filled with a lot of crap, a lot of stuff that we need to go over, a lot of stuff on my mind, a lot of stuff, a lot of shit to get to on a lot of different levels. Some wrestling stuff, some TV stuff. There's a lot of bullshit going on. I want to first of all pay some bills here. I found out something very unique and interesting before I came on the air here to record this fucking episode. So every fucking week, I not only plug myself, because who's going to sell me better than me? The answer is nobody. So I always sell myself here. I give you all the different stuff, which, you know, since we're talking about, let's get into it. If you don't already know, in case you weren't there, all of my episodes stream live and in color on Podbean, which would be specifically AJOUM, you know, AJ Orsini's Uncensored Mind, AJOUM.podbean.com. That's where I upload all my shit on a weekly basis every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Every Wednesday, I now upload my shit on fucking Podbean. Of course, it RSS feeds to all my other shit. I don't individually go to each platform to upload shit. I upload in the one area, and it does all the work for me. Having said that, I found some very interesting fucking news today. So I've been saying for fucking weeks that when I have the spare time, I was going to try to see if I can get the show on other platforms, expand, spread the wings a bit, you know, continue the hustle here. And I did some digging around earlier, and I found some very interesting news. So I don't know if it runs through iTunes. I don't know if it runs directly through Podbean. I don't know how this works. But I had a buddy of mine who apparently listens to podcasts and listens to shows on an app called Castbox.fm. And I have never heard of this before. I knew nothing about this until literally a few minutes ago before I went on the air here. And it was pitched to me as, you know, if you're looking for another platform, here's another option for you, because apparently there's a lot of people listening to it. So I said, cool. So I went in to inquire. And what I found out is apparently I'm already on this motherfucker. I didn't even know. I'm assuming it runs through my feed. I don't know how a lot of this shit works. I'm going to be honest with you. Episode 34 here. I'm still winging this shit. It's still liquid. It's still fluid. I'm still learning. So what happened is apparently I found out literally minutes before I went on the air here to record that I'm already on another platform. And I didn't even know. Which leads me to wonder how many more out there I'm on. I don't know. So the research has to continue. But as of right now, If you're not already going through Podbean to listen to the show, of course, as I've been saying for weeks, I am on other platforms. So in case you can't get on the Podbean app or the Podbean website, which apparently has had some issues the past couple of days, I've been told. Some other podcasters that I know that are doing their thing on this website have had some issues on Podbean. So far, I've had very few problems, so I'm thankful for that. But if you do have a problem on Podbean, if you can't get through, you can also check out the show on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Google Play Music, and the TuneIn Radio app. And as of right now, I guess we can add Castbox.fm to that list, a new platform for me. For those of you who have the app, for whatever reason, I've never heard of this app, but apparently it's popping right now. I don't have my ears to the grindstone when it comes to new Android apps. I don't even know if this is available on Apple. I'm not sure on an Apple phone or an iPhone or whatever the fuck. I just know this person has an Android and they have Castbox. So it's Castbox, CASTBOX.FM, and apparently I am also on that. So as memorized as I've had these platforms, I'm going to have to add one to the fucking list now because apparently I'm on this fucking thing. And I didn't even know. So kudos to that. Congrats. And I know nobody else knows either because the motherfucker has a listing of how many plays I've gotten on Castbox. And it's currently at 0. So that means not only did I not know, apparently no one else has either. So we're going to start promoting that. Going to start pushing that out there for you guys. So Castbox is indeed another way to check me out if and when you have the time or the need. I don't know why you would have the need, but if you do, I'm on that motherfucker too. So how about that? Some other news as far as an update on the show. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but on the Orsini Uncensored Mind Facebook page, the like page, I've been keeping tabs on the different countries that I've been downloaded in. Now, just saying that makes me feel like an immense douche because I don't know. I feel like it's a humble brag, if you will, to sit here and tell you while I'm being downloaded in other countries. But again, sell yourself, right? Sell yourself, motherfucker. Jesus Christ, you doing all this work for this fucking show? Boast a bit. So I decided to do something a little nifty, and I started posting the country's flags on the page. So what happens is I have a photo album on the Orsini's Uncensored Mind Facebook Live page of all the countries in which I have been downloaded in. I even provided a little bit of proof there, a little screenshot of all the countries, and they're definitely it's definitely interesting to know that I'm not just being downloaded in states, which also I'm spreading around. I'm getting a lot of different states now. Before it was kind of centralized. You know, a lot of my family, a lot of my friends are in New York, New Jersey, PA, Connecticut. So that's where I was getting a lot of my interest was in that area. But I'm spreading out, brother. Texas, California, Virginia, North Carolina. It's getting up there. You guys are listening. Thank you so much. I know I say it. I've been saying it a lot with the thank yous and all that stuff. But, I mean, if I'm getting people from California and Texas and Florida, West Virginia, people I don't even know downloading the show, and then we look at the fact that I got people in Ghana and Germany and the newest one this week, in case you didn't see my video on IG, Syria. I have some people in Syria who are downloading the show. So it's becoming international, the show. I'm only on episode 34 here, and some steam getting picked up here. Nothing crazy. I'm not sitting here trying to tell you guys that, I'm about to start making the big money and buy out NBC or anything, but I just extremely humbled by everything that's been going on with the show, and I'm also about to hit 1,000 downloads. There's a lot of cool shit going on, and I have to thank you guys for that, especially for anybody who's listening to this episode. Thank you so much for, I say it all the time, thank you for downloading, thank you for listening, thank you for enjoying and sharing and getting the word out and doing your thing. So I want to thank you guys for that. I can't thank you guys enough. I know last week wasn't about me, wasn't really about the show for that matter either. Last week we did the interview with the Colossal Mike Law. It's really a testament to how much the show has grown. Based from the first interview, because the first interview I did, of course, was EC Negro, and I got a slow burn on that one. It's still currently to this day. Episode 16, EC Negro, still the most downloaded episode that I have. I still think it's one of the better episodes that I've done. He's such a cool dude, and there was a lot of things discussed there. Very interesting shit. If you have not checked it out, please do. My other interview, episode 21 with the GOAT. That's Chris Cage, Whiplash, Ivy Roman. It was a good time. Some of my brothers and sisters there that come up the ranks with, and had a good time with them. And then, of course, my interview that my wife did, Mrs. O, interviewed me. So technically speaking, I've had 4 with Michael Now last week. Now I've got some things in the works, and one of the things definitely that I wanted to start thinking about is with this whole women's revolution stuff. I really haven't, with the exception of Ivy, but she came part of a stable. I really haven't had a chance to speak with an up and coming female professional wrestler, and I'd love to have that happen. I also have some ideas for some guests. Not related to roundtables or discussions or pro wrestling. I'm in talks now with a gentleman to come in and talk some other stuff. So if you guys have any ideas of what you want to listen to, any ideas of things that you want to talk about, please feel free to hit me up literally anytime to do so. I tell you guys all the time, pretty open here with the policies on you guys being a part of the process. You guys are free to do that anytime you'd like. So please hit me up and let me know. A lot of shit to get to. I know it took a long time to get here just now, but I just wanted to say all those things and let you guys know where my feelings are as far as all this stuff. The show's picking up steam. It's doing a hell of a good job, and far exceeding anything that I thought that it would ever become. So if it ended today, it was a lot of fun, and I'm glad that I did it. But it's not over. We have episode 34. We got a lot of shit that we need to get to and touch on, okay? So, of course, I want to start off exactly right here at the top and let you guys know that I'm pretty pissed off, actually, about one of these particular topics, and I'm going to let you know right now. I'm going to let you know right now where I stand. And, of course, I have to talk about the man. You know that I do. You know that I do. Who is a bigger? I need confirmation on this. You let me know. Who is a bigger Jinder Mahal mark than me? There isn't one. There isn't one. Of all the things that I have accomplished with this show over the last 34 weeks, okay, the one thing that everyone puts next to my name and attaches me to, it's the Jinder Mahal situations and championships, everything that ever happens to this fucking guy. People, whenever he seems to stumble and fall, everyone goes to my social media, hits me up, tags me, puts all kinds of stupid shit on my wall. Oh, how does your champion look now? What was that whisper in the wind about? Look, he couldn't even hold the belt for that long. There's always some stupid shit, right? But no one wants to face the real facts when it comes to the Jinder Mahal situation. Okay? Nobody wants to face the real facts. Nobody wants to face the facts that of all the people Brock Lesnar has stumbled upon, right, when it was time to fight Jinder, okay, he went for the easy target. He decided to go for the easy target in AJ Styles. And it wasn't like he made that decision. Okay, of course, SmackDown Live general manager and commissioner served that up to him on a hot plate. Okay, screwing him over. All the people, all this talk about Brock Lesnar, right? And he's ducking the guy. He ducked him for forever. He's been ducking him since the Survivor Series, and now Jinder Mahal is finally on Monday Night Raw, right? He's finally on Monday Night Raw. And what does Brock do? He fulfills his contractual obligations in Saudi Arabia and then disappears. He's gone. He's home, picking up logs and shit and fucking Sable or whatever the fuck he's doing over in Minnesota. Okay? He wants no part of fucking Jinder Mahal. So there's no shot at the Universal Championship. Okay? So Luckily for Jinder Mahal, he comes from SmackDown. He's already got a championship around his waist. You know, that win at WrestleMania that he got that everyone seems to keep forgetting about. You know, the match where he beat the Viper, you know, the 13-time world champion, when he beat Rusev Day, right? He took all of your heroes and just basically took an open squat shit on them on the biggest stage of them all and walked away the United States champion. Okay? Oh, don't think I forgot the glorious one as well, Bobby Roode. Right? Jinder walked away with that championship, right? So he's carrying the championship with prestige, and then he gets sent to Raw on the Superstar Shake-Up. And of course, because he was moved to Raw, that means that Raw should open with Jinder, because you lead with your best player, right? That's the big splash. Your opening segment is your big splash. And of course, it's Jinder Mahal. And then here comes Jinder Mahal, United States Championship. He's bringing a championship to Raw. Now, at this point, that would make it its secondary championship, because the IC champion at that time was still on Raw. And Jinder comes over. He gets blindsided. Cheap shot. This is how Raw treats Jinder Mahal. And this is where I'm leading into. I'm getting to a point. Okay? Just follow me on this. So they cheap shot Jinder Mahal and the United States Championship against Jeff Hardy, right? They take this DWI kid and just throw him in the ring, reckless abandon, takes Jinder off his game, screws him out of the championship. Jeff Hardy walks away with the United States Championship. Well, my wife brought up a very good point. Okay, very good point, because I grew up a big Jeff Hardy fan. But obviously I've seen the error of my ways, and now I'm a Jinder Mahal guy. And my wife brought up a good point. She's like, man, didn't Jeff Hardy used to be your guy, and now he's over here doing this shit? Yeah, you know what that shit was? I was sitting at home watching Raw, watching this shit unfold, and it's just like you're sitting at home with your best gal, and your ex comes over and just fucks shit up for no reason. It's out of spite. Just nasty-ass spite comes over and just fucks shit up. Why did Jeff Hardy have to come and fucking poo-poo on my parade? He didn't have to poo-poo on his parade. He could have kept his poo-poo to himself. But he didn't. He decided to poo-poo on me and poo-poo on the 1.3 billion. It used to be 1.6, but now they're advertising 1.3. I don't know. Maybe there was some transferring. Maybe some people left the country. I don't know. But we're down to 1.3 billion. But that's fine, because it's still in the B's. It's still in the billion, and those billions are still on the shoulders of Jinder Mahal as he carries them off into the promised land. And now we're back to the topic, okay? Because now Jeff Hardy screws Jinder Mahal out of the championship. So Brock's ducking him. SmackDown shifts him over. Jeff Hardy fucks him over on the United States Championship. He even fucks him over in Saudi Arabia. All right? Oh, so close to the Jinder Mahal maniacs that are over there. Screws him over, right? So, of course, all this shit's building. All right? So now we have the Money in the Bank coming up. Qualifiers. Only a select few get the call for a qualifier. We haven't had any battle royals, no six-man matches, none of that shit. We've had closely contested matches, one-on-ones, a few triple threats, but only the elite of the elite get a chance to qualify for the Money in the Bank, and Jinder was selected. Now, I will concede that the week before Jinder's qualifier, Roman had a qualifier, but like I just explained to all of you, there was so much buildup and emotion going into all of this shit that, of course, Jinder was going to take his shot when it was available to him. Hey, don't call it a sneak attack when Jinder Mahal faced him face to face that long ago. Of course, he was interrupted by Kevin and by Sammy, but he faced the big dog one-on-one, told him to his face what the deal was. Okay, so when Roman had his qualifier, man, not for nothing, but he should have seen it coming. All the emotion, everything going on, and a statement needed to be made, and God damn it, it was made. End of discussion. All right? Now, Roman, being the bitch made that he is, couldn't let that hang, right? So now he's putting Jinder Mahal, busting up his ribs, putting him through styrofoam walls, all kinds of crazy shit. And now Jinder can't compete, and he can't qualify for the Money in the Bank. More screw jobs on the behalf of Jinder Mahal. So I'm just bringing you guys up to fucking speed as to what's going on here. Okay? With all this Jinder Mahal bullshit. Okay? I can't stand it. I know the modern day Maharaja, he can't stand it. Okay, and we're going to learn more about this as it progresses. You think we're done with the big dog? Huh? The big dog is starting some shit he don't even begin to want. All right, but he gonna find out. He gonna find out. Is Roman Reigns. He gonna find out what the modern day Maharaja is all about. And when he balls that fist up, okay, when Jinder balls that fist up, it hits him with the power of the 1.3 billion, the big dog's going down again. Because as Joe clearly illustrated, Roman is a loser, a failure. And he will fail again against the modern day Maharaja. So that's your update on Jinder Mahal. I know everybody wants to act like I'm ducking shit. I ain't ducking shit. We're talking about it. Okay? We're talking about it. And one of the things that came from all of this, not just for the Jinder Mahal situation, but Roman Reigns altogether. I wanted to talk about Roman Reigns for just a little bit. Just a second. And I'm not going to go too long with this one, because there's not much to be said. It's all pretty obvious stuff. This heel turn needs to happen. It absolutely needs to happen. No discussions at all whatsoever about it. And it's not, and I'm not saying this because of the obvious. I'm not sitting here saying that a heel turn for Roman Reigns has to happen because the fans are booing him. That's a stupid reason to turn somebody heel. You can see for Cena, it worked out just fine without turning him. It worked out just fine. Millions of dollars in the bank. Everybody made money. Everybody ate. He pulled the wagon just fine. They didn't need to turn him. To be fair, they couldn't turn him. They couldn't turn Cena. Not in the time period in which he was, because, let's face it, you look at the ruthless aggression era, you look in the era in which Cena come up, he didn't have the backup that he needed. There was no way he could have turned heel, because if you turn that guy heel, who's the baby that he works against? Who's the next guy that he can put over that will lead the company? They didn't have one. That's not my words. That's the words of people who were there. I've worked with enough people that are very honest about that. There was nobody else. You couldn't turn Cena. That is not the case here. This is where I think that they have a little bit of an out. They have a little bit of an option here. Because while Roman is being slotted as the guy, he's the guy. He's the big dog. It's his yard and all that garbage. Right? But they're not really in a position to need the one guy. And I think that's a beautiful position to be in. Right now, he's slotted as the top baby, but he's not the top baby. Braun right now is probably the top. If you can make an argument for Seth, that there's some wiggle room here as far as who the top guy is. But the one thing that I think everyone can agree on is that the top guy is probably not Roman. He's being booked like one. He's being positioned at one, but he's not being seen as one, and he's not being respected as one. Here's the difference between Reigns and Cena. Cena would get booed here, and not everywhere here. You know, Cena would get booed in New York and Chicago and Dallas and LA and Miami, but he wouldn't get booed in Topeka, Kansas. He wasn't being booed in Tacoma, Washington. He wasn't being booed in Mobile, Alabama. He wasn't being booed in Manchester, New Hampshire. He's not being booed everywhere in the States. He's being booed in those quote-unquote smart states, right? The ones who, take themselves like WWE bookers on Tuesday morning. Right? Those are the ones who boo him. Your regular average wrestling fan, they didn't boo John Cena. They popped hard for him. I've heard pops for Cena clear as day in a lot of the events that I attended. Roman, on the other hand, not so much. He's booed everywhere. Booed everywhere. And again, you're not going to turn him heel just because he booed. I just feel, based on what I'm seeing and based on his temperament, that I think he's got a hell of a heel run in him. Not as a Shield member, not as, it doesn't, to be honest with you, he doesn't need to be the top heel on Raw or SmackDown. It doesn't matter. He can be another brand. Because this phony bully bullshit about the Raw being the flagship and SmackDown is just a good show, it's all crap. The brand split is all crap. So at this point, it doesn't really matter, especially since both shows are on the same network now. Before, when we had a brand split and the networks were different and the shows were different and all that stuff, it mattered because you could be competitive with that. You know, we drew this number on Sci-Fi, and then we drew this number on Spike TV or USA, and you can have your back and forth. It's so cookie cutter right now. Everything is on the same network. Everything is the same show. The sets look the same. The talent's interchangeable. It's all a fucking blur. So if you can get a guy who is being consistently booked at that level and gaining a response, it's very good. Getting the response is good. Roman's got on record, hey, I don't care about the boos as long as people are showing up. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. And the only reason why I don't believe you is because I see the same competitiveness in him that I see with everybody else. The way that Stone Cold, Triple H, The Rock, they used to describe the Attitude Era locker room, he was a shark tank. A shark tank. And as soon as you fell asleep, somebody gobbled you up and took your spot. I get that vibe from a lot of guys who are working in the WWE today. They don't want a nap because they feel like, you know, there's a lot of hungry guys at the top. A lot. So for him to be handcuffed in a situation where he doesn't really need the cuffs, it's very illuminating on the thought processes behind the scenes. Because it just seems consistently every single week, the boos, the detraction, it gets louder and louder and louder. Now, I know it doesn't reflect in other ways. From what I understand, the merch sales are up. The Make-A-Wish numbers are up. The request appearances are up. He's still a top guy. But he's not getting that reaction. And I know it was all at the expense of my Maharaja just a week ago, but that wall bump, everything that he did, the whole build up to beating up Jinder Mahal, why is he fighting Jinder Mahal? To what end? Jinder has no championship. Jinder is also a heel and has no circumstance to anything major right now on the Raw brand. He just came over in the shakeup. It's not like he's got a year or two of build up with the audience where he could just spout off all this shit, because maybe that's what they thought. As a babyface, he'll fight Jinder as a heel. He'll be able to cover up his flaws and blah 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 blah. We've done this road before, not with Jinder, but we've gone down this road before, where he's in there with a superior technician, thus making him look foolish because he can't keep up. Or he is the ring general, but you're putting him in there with trash, and they can't keep up. So this whole situation about Roman Reigns turning heel, I can kind of get on board with the idea that it should be happening at some point in time, but I need the turn to happen like right now. Right now. Literally right now, because WrestleMania just passed. We're in that dead stage, okay, as we start to draw the clock closer to SummerSlam here in Brooklyn where I am. You're going to need to start getting some sort of momentum, and you got to rattle off wins. I mean, I know it's scripted. I know that it's professional wrestling, but you still got to win. You still need to compete. So this whole Roman Reigns situation, man, it really is unique. It really is unique. But I really hope that eventually at some point they figure this out, because the man needs to turn heel. Okay? He needs to turn heel. Absolutely. There's no doubt about it. All right? We have a pay-per-view coming up, Money in the Bank, live on the WWE Network. Again, I'm not here to plug the WWE, but it is what it is. It's the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. And normally there are 2 ladder matches, and then there's, some supplementary matches. We have 2 women's championship matches already listed. We have a WWE championship match. And to be honest with you, I'm surprised the 2 men are even alive. Now, I didn't see Backlash because I refused to watch it for many reasons, most paramount of which it was just a shitty show. But Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles competed in a no disqualification match, which is what they called it. They called it a no disqualification match. But in all honesty, I've been calling it an all punches to the dicks are legal match. And I was calling it that before the pay-per-view. All punches to the dicks are legal in this matchup. I don't even care about chairs and stairs and ladders. Fuck all that. Punches to the dick are completely legal. And I was saying that before the match. I was like, why would you even get in the ring with Nakamura knowing full well he's just going to punch you in the dick? Well, I stand corrected. Shinsuke did not punch him in the dick. He kicked him in the dick. Unfortunately, simultaneous to him kicking Styles in the dick, Styles kicked Shinsuke in the dick. It was a dual nut wobbler. It was a double punt, if you will. 4 balls, 2 feet, one immense amount of pain for an entire eternity for the fans to watch. They both crumbled into a heap filled with tears and shame. And that's how your WWE Championship match ended. I have been watching wrestling for 35 years. I have never, ever in my life, ever heard of a WWE Championship match ending with a double nut knocker for the no decision, no contest. There's nothing you can do. When the beanbag is bursted, there's nothing you can do. You can just sit there and cry and just try to gather yourself as a fucking man. That's all you can do. But I didn't see the pay-per-view. For Backlash, and we have Money in the Bank coming up, which means they're going to be rematching, and they just had a match on SmackDown right before the taping of this episode here, where Shinsuke pinned AJ Styles in the middle of the ring, which means he gets to pick the stipulation for the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, which I think is just retarded. I think that's stupid. Why would you have a match to determine what happens in your match? That's just redundant. What the fuck are you talking about? It's not illegal, if you will. Why would you have a match to determine what happens in your match? It's dumb. They used to do stuff like that back in the day where they would have matches to determine stipulations, but they wouldn't have the 2 assholes who were about to be on pay-per-view fighting for that stipulation. That's just weird. You get the 2 people to pick a wrestler to represent them. You have those 2 bitches fight it out like a real-life rock and sock'em fucking matchup. And then the winning person that they're representing gets to choose their fucking stipulation. Or that's just one way. There are other ways to get creative with this. Least of which is to have a full-blown scheduled match between Styles and Nakamura, basically giving away your main event for the next show because, quite frankly, the WWE Championship should be the main event. But God knows if it will now because the match that took place not too long ago wasn't a main event. It was the middle of the card matchup. So this next pay-per-view, Money in the Bank, not just a WWE Championship match. We have 2 women's matches as well for their respective championships over on Raw. The Raw Women's Champion, Nia Jax, will be defending against Ronda Rousey. I'm going to let this develop. I'm going to let this play out before I comment on it. I just want to see how it looks on paper. This is a lose-lose, in my opinion. We'll see how it goes. For the SmackDown Live side, Carmella, hashtag Mella is money, will be defending now against Asuka. We have the 2 ladder matches now. As the ladder matches stand right now, for the women, so far all we have is Ember Moon, Charlotte, Alexa Bliss, and Becky Lynch. I'm going to go with the idea that they're going with 6 women for this. I don't recall them stating specifically that, but the way they've been spacing their qualifying matches, I'm going to go with 6. For the men, it's, wait, did I just do the girls? Yeah, I just did the girls, right? Ember Moon, Charlotte, Flair, Alexa Bliss, Becky Lynch. For the men, Finn Balor, Braun Strowman, Kevin Owens, and Bobby Roode will be representing the Raw side, whereas The Miz, Rusev, and The New Day, yes, The New Day, they had a tag team match on SmackDown here. The New Day versus The Bar, and Xavier Woods walked away with a win, but he's representing The New Day, which means they will get a chance to pick which New Day member will be in the ladder match. Now, it would make sense that it would be Xavier Woods, considering Xavier Woods won the match, but I don't know. I'm actually going to go out on a limb here and say that they probably don't do that. And the reason for that is because maybe this is also a work and they've been setting this up. But Xavier Woods has been very vocal about the idea that him and Big E are very, very big advocates of Kofi Kingston getting an opportunity at the WWE Championship. And this would be an opportunity to do that. Now, Kofi's known for two things in the WWE. I mean, he's been in the WWE for, we're going on, what, our 13th year or something like that? And really, Kofi's really only really known, besides from being a part of the New Day, is ladder matches in Royal Rumble. So if there was going to be an opportunity for Kofi to get his hands on a contract for a WWE title match, this would be it. And like I said, the other two guys have been very vocal about wanting him to get a championship match, so they might be opening up to that. The final spot still left to be determined. I wonder if they're leaving that for one big hullabaloo on who that's going to be. So that's your Money in the Bank lineup. Again, I'm not going to be keeping too many tabs on it. I just figured I'd let you guys know what that was. But I am definitely going to move on from that. So that's your Money in the Bank stuff going on there. One last thing for the wrestling side before we move on. The All In show in Chicago. Now you want to talk about heat, brother. Heat. Big heat on me this week when it came to the All In show. First and foremost, I want to say the same thing that I said on social media. I know there are other players at play, but the three entities that are leading or spearheading this movement for All In, for the wrestling show that'll be taking place in Chicago September the 1st at a 10,000-seat arena. I think it's supposed to be plus. They just wanted to sell 10,000 tickets. But that would be Cody Rhodes and Nick and Matt Jackson, the Young Bucks. They have gotten together. They have put together a package that cannot be beat, and they will be doing their own individual show All In. Now, I would like to preface all this by saying they're doing the one show. Now, what I am about to tell you might be evidence to the contrary, but as of right now, as of what we all know, the Young Bucks and Cody Rhodes have no intentions of doing that many shows. If there's room for one more, I think they might be open to it. But they've got on record stating they're not starting a promotion. They're not starting a company. If anything, this is kind of a one-off. And what a one-off it will be, apparently. So the goal, I've spoken about this on the podcast before. Their goal was to sell 10,000 tickets and get 10,000 people to be at the show just to kind of stick it to the WWE. And I had stated that a big way to do that would be to get Punk, to land Punk. Now, based on all of the recent information, Punk is, to me, a non-factor at this point. I'm not a believer that they could have done this. I was very adamant in saying without Punk, I don't see how they do it. And they did it. Now, the way they did it raises some flags, in my opinion, but they did it. At the end of the day, they did it. There's nothing that I can say. There's nothing that anyone else can say, really, to go against the fact that they sold the tickets. 10,000 tickets were sold. Officially. Now, will there be 10,000 people in the building? Probably not. But 10,000 tickets were sold. That's all that matters. They're going with that. They're going to run with it, of course. It's all marketing stuff, and it's all good marketing stuff. This is smart business. This is the way you're supposed to be doing it. Okay? But my only problem is this. I'm not going to go into detail because I'm not going to sit here and be a hater and cause problems for myself as far as, because I know people that are going to be on the show that are working it, and I don't want to get anybody in trouble, and more importantly, I don't want to get myself in trouble. But I will say this, because I've been very honest about this, and I'm going to continue to be honest about it. There's no sense in me lying about it. I feel the way that I feel. A lot of professional wrestling indie companies in the Americas here, the States here, have attempted to get high numbers, such as 10,000. Not that many people have been able to come close. Matter of fact, from what I understand, Ring of Honor hit about 5,000, and that's the closest we've seen. Now, that 5,000 show had Cody and the Bucks on it. Okay? So, here's the only flags that I have. Not a whole lot of companies have been able to reach 5, let alone 10. And they were able to reach 10 with no matches announced. Half, at best. Half of the talent roster announced, and they did it 4 months before the show was supposed to air, and they sold out their tickets in 26 minutes, which sounds super impressive, and I'm happy for them. But I've got my doubts. I have my doubts. Okay, I have my doubts on not that they've sold the 10,000, because I think at this point it's already been proven as a fact that they sold the 10,000 tickets. I just want to know how. That's my only thing about it. I want to know how. What did you do different that everybody else does? Because you look at the roster mates that they have announced, it's the same guys they always wrestle. Same guys. They didn't really go that far out the box. Now, after the announcement, I think it was like a day after, they did the Rey Mysterio tease, so I'm assuming Rey Mysterio might be a part of the show, which would be great. But I think with the selling out of the tickets in 26 minutes, I think that pretty much negates Punk. There is literally no need to do Punk now. Now, unless Punk wants to make a surprise appearance, and normally I would be against the Punk surprise appearance because that would be a business level a business done to a retard level here. But if they've already sold the tickets, then what the fuck, right? It doesn't matter, right? Michael Jackson, you can get President Obama in there, do a lot of crazy shit. Fuck it. You have the freedom to do whatever it is you want to do because you already have the fucking money. So it could lead to some very interesting shit. I could always see the Young Bucks doing something creative with the audience. It's going to be a fun time. I'm not here to shit on anybody. That's what I think all the heat was over the course of the last few days with people. Oh, who the fuck are you to be shitting on Bucks and Cody? I'm not shitting on anyone. I said on social media, I'm saying it on my show. Congratulations. I don't care how you did it. You did it. It sold. That part is confirmed. They sold. Okay, sold out. I just want to know what you did, bruh. That's it. I just want to know how you got there. And I'll never know. Because I'm not privy to the books, and I shouldn't be. But goddamn, son, that was very suspicious to me. And I said a few things on the internet as such, and hailstorm. So I'm here on my. This is my show, so I can say whatever I want on my show, and I'm saying it again. I question it. That's it. That's it. I'm questioning it. Who am I to question it? Yeah, you're right. I'm fucking nobody. But just because I don't have the books in front of you don't mean that I can sit here and just swallow whatever it is you're trying to sell, because that's not how that works. I have a brain, I have my own opinion, and something that you're doing is setting off that opinion. So I got to say something. All right, so again, I said what I had to say on the situation on social media. I'm saying it again now. And that's the end of that. So congratulations to them. We're going to hear more talent announced coming up. We're going to hear more matches coming, which should be very interesting. There's a rumor going around. I don't know if it's confirmed or not. I believe it may be. I'm unsure. Of Nick Aldis, the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, defending his championship against Cody Rhodes at this show. I don't know. But I tell you what, that'd be pretty fucking dope if they had an NWA title match, because it'd be nice to see Cody win that championship. A belt that his dad had. The NWA Heavyweight Championship around the sun, not only around the waist of not only Dusty Rhodes, but of the son, Cody Rhodes. That'd be pretty awesome. So I hope that shit happens for real. I hope it works out. So I've gotten this deep on the wrestling stuff. I took a bit of a wrestling break. But as you can see, I'm back on my shit here. But I'm actually done with the wrestling right now as we speak. And we're going to tackle on some other stuff. And I'm not going to talk about Marvel, but I will make a mention of this. So apparently, just so we're clear, Thanos snapped his fingers and pretty much killed off half of the universe. He brought ballads to the world. But apparently when he snapped his fingers, he killed off more than just half of the world. Apparently, god damn it, he killed off television. He killed off television. He snapped his fingers and television programs went a-flying. So in case you guys haven't been around the bend or heard, I have a full listing in front of me of all of the television shows from different brands and different markets that have been canceled. Well, it's a mouthful for me to say. TV shows that have been canceled. Okay? They're just dumping them left and right. A lot of TV shows not really getting a whole lot of pub here. And I wanted to talk about them because a few of my shows are on here. And I know some of these are going to be on here for you. I wanted to give you guys the update on all the madness. I know people have been sharing some of the articles that share some of the names, but I have a full list in front of me. So I wanted to give you guys a glimpse of what that looks like. And what shows are going to be canceled and what shows aren't. Well, not which ones aren't. I don't have that list in front of me, but definitely the ones that are. So let's take it at the top here. ABC, the American Broadcasting Network here. One of the originals, the OGs. We're going to start. I'm going to do the list, and then I'll say what I have to say. So Alex Inc., The Crossing, Deception, Designated Survivor, Kevin Probably Saves the World, and The Mayor. Marvel's Inhumans, Quantico, 10 Days in the Valley. Now, here's the thing. I don't know all these shows. Okay? For instance, Deception, I don't know much about. Quantico, I don't know much about except for the fact that it had that really hot Desi girl in there. 10 Days in the Valley, no idea. Marvel's Inhumans was a fucking abomination. And it looked like a fucking abomination before it ever aired. The fact that it even got on your network in the first place is a fucking travesty. You should burn the negatives. You should make sure there's no trace left of that fucking show. The Mayor looked like it had promise. I actually dug it a little bit in the commercials, but I knew it was going to be something that I wouldn't be able to follow all the time. So not that heartbroken. Kevin Probably Saves the World. I just love the fact that John Ritter's kid was on TV full time. To be honest with you, I never really got to see much of the show. Designated Survivor. Now, I hadn't had a chance to sit down, but I had attentions to. I heard a lot of people saying that was a really good show. So the fact that Designated Survivor got canceled actually is a little bit of a shock to me. That one's a shock. The Crossing was also a bit of a shock. I thought they were going to give that one a little bit more time. Alex Inc. looks like trash. The dude from the fucking Scrubs. Not a big Scrubs guy myself, so, I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. So for him to be all on his own, I like the ensemble. I don't like him on his own. So that was the end of that. The next network, CBS. Now, again, I'm going to go through the list here. NJKL. The name alone is so fucking stupid. I'll get back to that shit fest in a second. 9JKL. Kevin Can Wait. Living Biblically. Me, Myself, and I. Scorpion, Superior Donuts, and Wisdom of a Crowd. Now, Superior Donuts pops up into my brain. Obviously, the guy from Taxi, Judd Hirsch, on that show. I don't know if you saw some of the commercials for it. It's all right. It was a pretty okay show. Not huge. Wisdom of the Crowd. No idea how they thought that was going to work out. None. Scorpion, I've seen a few episodes. I didn't think it was that bad, but I got a really big NCIS vibe from that show, so I don't know if it was just redundant. Me, Myself, and I don't know much about Living Biblically. It's a story about the fucking a guy living his life based on the Bible. Yeah, canceled. Kevin Can Wait. What the fuck happened to that show? Seriously, I didn't watch it from the very, very beginning, but I actually like Kevin James. This show was a fucking travesty. First, I saw some of the pilot stuff, and then I fell off of it, and then all of a sudden, it was fucking King of Queens. Out of nowhere. I said, what the fuck happened? I wasn't keeping track. As a matter of fact, my wife and I got inebriated as shit one day and saw it and got curious, and apparently the original actress got fired or was suspended or some shit. I don't know. I don't have a clue. Okay, but Kevin Can Wait. He's waiting his ass on to the goddamn unemployment line. NJKL is a fucking abomination. Disgusting. If you like this show, you should fucking kill yourself. Seriously, this was the worst fucking show I'd ever seen in my goddamn life. Okay, it was the dude from fucking Royal Pains or whatever, or some shit, that doctor show on fucking USA. Subpar acting, subpar jokes, subpar fucking writing, subpar fucking existence. I got physically fucking angry whenever I saw a commercial for that fucking show, because it always followed something good. Like I'm watching, I won't say good. kind of running out of patience for Big Bang Theory, but I'm still trying to stay in there. I'm struggling. I'm holding on. I'm trying to stay in there and keep on this shit. And all of a sudden, I get hit with a fucking commercial for this shit, and it would just make me physically fucking mad. I fucking hated that show. I don't even know how to fucking tell you how much I hated that show. Bad. Like slap an old person back. I would rather get a fucking Brazilian wax than watch that shit. The fucking worst. CW had the CW network had 2, Life Sentence and Valor. I would talk more about it, but I couldn't physically, like, it's been proven by science. I couldn't physically give less of a shit about those 2 shows. I'm saying it for you in case you watch it. All right, I'm going to skip this one, and I'm going to come back because this one deserves a little bit more time. So Sci-Fi has The Expanse. That's been canceled. The Expanse. It's a very ironic name considering it was just recently canceled. Not very expansive. So Fox got rid of The Exorcist, The Last Man on Earth, Lucifer, The Mick. Nope, that's it. Yeah. That's it for Fox. I was going to breathe in that other stuff here. And I missed one. So this The Exorcist, Last Man on Earth, Lucifer, The Mick, and Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Now here's the deal. The Last Man on Earth, pretty funny. Kind of got into it. Didn't follow it, but I really didn't have much of a problem with the show. I don't know what the following was like, so I don't know if that was hit or miss. I'm hearing a lot of people complain about Lucifer. I hear a lot of people were really into Lucifer, really into the story, really into the main guy, the character. In spite of his failed doctor show on USA, he apparently he's a really good actor, and people have been following him and following the show, more importantly. Brooklyn Nine-Nine is my jam. I love it. It was on my list. If you guys go back, I think it's episode 23. TV show Nirvana. I did my top 10 favorite TV shows of all time. That motherfucker's on the list. Now, here's the good news. Of everything that I just fucking told you, though, of shows that are fucking canceled, this is the only one that's not dead. It was on life support, apparently. It was put in hospice to be killed, and NBC swooped in and picked it up. Brooklyn Nine-Nine will now be picked up for a 6th season on NBC, a whole nother network. Thank you, NBC, for being smart businessmen and genuine human beings and picking up this wonderfully great show. Speaking of NBC, they have canceled Great News, Rise, The Brave, and Taken. Uno, dos, tres, cuatros. Couldn't give less of a shit. So, those are your TV show cancellations, and I wanted you guys to get a quick listen on that, and maybe one of your shows is on here. I wanted to make it easier for people to keep track of this shit. So this is the list. I don't know if this is the end. I don't know if there's more coming. I don't know if fucking Netflix is killing it so goddamn bad. These networks have to figure some shit out. New, fresh programming at this point. I don't know. But I will say this. I hope they replace all these shows with something good, because that's what I want to watch, some good TV. Don't give me bullshit. All right, don't give me any bullshit on that. So that was your TV show cancellations. We're getting close to the end of the show here, and I wanted to take a moment before we get to the end of the show and talk about something very important to me. And that is, we had a very special holiday this past Sunday, May the 13th. And this past Sunday was Mother's Day. It was a very big holiday. Mother's Day is always a big holiday for me. I love my mama, my mama in particular. And my wife is a mama, obviously, of little O. Mrs. O is my son's mother, and is a wonderful mother. And my mother was a wonderful mother. I've known so many great moms. Not just them. I have some personal friends of mine who are mothers, and some co-workers who are mothers. And, Mother's Day is to me is very special because I notice the strength that it took to be a mother to me, because I am not an easy motherfucker to be around. Whether it be as a husband, as a son, regardless. I'm not easy. Like, you guys see the cool, fucking relaxed and entertaining Orsini, you guys don't get to see the real asshole behind the mask. That's something that's shared between my mother and my wife. They have the horror stories of what it's like to be around me all the goddamn time. Or you can actually get a glimpse of what it's like to be married to me on my Instagram, because I'll be putting shit up on there and letting you guys know what's up. I'm not an easy person to be around all the time, and they manage to do it with precision and with ease. So I cannot be more appreciative. I didn't go running to social media. I actually was asked what the deal was, because I usually put something up for holidays on the Facebook pages and stuff. I didn't go running this time to go do that because I was busy celebrating Mother's Day with my wife and my son, and I didn't get that chance, which is fine, because even after the fact I realized what was the point. I spoke to my wife and wished her a happy Mother's Day. I spoke to my own mother and wished her a happy Mother's Day, who, by the way, she's not feeling well. She's been having some asthma issues. But I did wish her a very, very happy Mother's Day. And a quick reminder to her that this Sunday was the 35th anniversary of her being a mom. I'm 35 years old, obviously. It's called doing math. You should catch up. And I congratulated her. I'm like, congratulations. You're the mother to one of the greatest human beings who will ever live. And, of course, she agreed wholeheartedly, because she's my mom. She has to agree. You don't want to give the impression that something you pushed through your uterus was a waste of your time, right? So you gotta sell it. That's how that goes. Same thing with my wife, man. My wife pushed my son out and gave me the greatest blessing of my life. I'm not really much on religion, but when it comes to my son, that's an amazing gift. It really is. My son is awesome. I couldn't be happier that I have a son, let alone one that cool. And then, of course, she's my wife. So that makes her even cooler, because she does stuff to me, She satisfies Orsini, if you will. So, but it's been an amazing run for my wife. My son's 3. She's awesome at being a mom. She had her reservations, but I think every woman has the reservations, because it's not an easy job to be a mom. It is not an easy job to be a mom, especially one with a career like my wife. My wife balances a lot of shit daily. My dumbass, my son's dumbass. Her job is filled with dumbasses. Her leisure time is spent around dumbasses. Very stressful life my wife leads. So I hope all of you guys went out and did your thing with your moms and took them out and did a good deal. I took my wife out to several different things on Sunday. We made some activities. We made a day of it. It was pretty cool. I have not had a chance to see my mom. I live in Brooklyn, but my mom lives in South Jersey, so it's hard coming to get in front of each other. So hopefully I'll get a chance to do that soon. So I hope you guys out there had a great Mother's Day as well with your mom, and I hope you treated them good. I hope you went out there and did some stuff. And Mother's Day is huge. So I will see you guys in June, right? You motherfuckers. I was going to see you guys in June, right? Everyone's lining the fuck up for Mother's Day. I better see the same goddamn heads for Father's Day. Because it ain't easy being a goddamn dad either. I, too, am balancing some shit. So, you guys need to get the fuck on board on that. So, Mother's Day was this Monday. I just wanted to spend a quick moment for a special shout out for that. And let you guys know that you really should keep track of that holiday. That's a huge one. And we're in May. So if I'm not mistaken, the next holiday is Memorial Day and then Father's Day. So it's, like I said, it's in June. So keep your fucking head on a swivel, folks. Absolutely. I got a lot of nice feedback for the Bill Cosby stuff. I'm actually surprised. I thought people were going to no-sell that shit. But I guess it was topical. So people, nice feedback. Like I said, the show is it's catching some traction right now. We're approaching our 1,000th download. We're hitting up other countries. This is a good run. So thank you guys so much for downloading the show. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for enjoying. See, I just checked it right now before I went off. Before I went off the air, I wanted to check it again. And 977. So thank you guys so much for that. Thank you for everything you guys have done. Again, the platforms before we go, because now I have a new one. Glad to announce I have a new one, apparently. If you guys can't catch me on Podbean, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, TuneIn Radio, Castbox.fm. That's CASTBOX.fm for all of your Orsini needs. So thank you guys very much for listening to the show. I hope you guys had fun. This one's a little shorter than normal, but that's because I have a lot of shit I got to do. It's getting late. So I will be back in effect next week. I have a very big show planned, if not next week, the week after, where I will be doing something very special for you guys, or at least I think it's special. To me, it's special. You let me know. Oh, wait. I was getting ready to sign off and I forgot my notes here. Hold on. I was literally in the middle of the sign off here, and I forgot that somebody has sent me the Q&A. Hold on. I was getting ready to sign the fuck off and leave here like some sort of an asshole. And my good buddy Jose Rivera dropped me a note earlier, so I can't let that go because it was a really good question. And I definitely wanted to answer it. I opened up the forum before I started filming for anybody who wanted to share any questions, comments, or contributions to the show. And he dropped me off a message on the not message. It was a Facebook post, but basically what it said was what was the one movie I could watch over and over as a kid, and does it hold up today? Which is a very, very good question, because it made me think of my childhood, and whenever I have to think of my childhood, of course, it's always awesome. But what are the one I was thinking about this when he asked it. I was trying to think of movies. What's the one movie I've just watched when I was a kid over and over and over and over again, and does it hold up? I was really thinking hard because I watch a lot of movies over and over and over and over again. That's kind of something that I do. Once I like it, I'm OD addicted to it, like all the time. So I watch pretty much every movie over and over and over and over and over. But if I had to pick one, and believe me, I stressed over this, but the one movie that I definitely watched 1,000 times was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the original one. And I watched it all the time. A lot. I watched it a lot. Now, the second question was, does it hold up today? Unfortunately, it does not. I do not get the same vibe or feel that I got when I was a kid. When I watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles now, I kind of do it with a smile, like almost like a smug look on my face. I'm like, this is so shitty. Why did I watch this? I was a kid. I didn't know any better. But I feel that way about a lot of fucking movies. I remember, I'm going to get hate for this, I'm sure. But when I was a kid, that animated Transformers movie was the bomb. I was like, this is great. I watched it the other day, and I was like, what the fuck is this? It's the same thing with, I was a big Breakin' fan when I was a kid, because I was a dancer back in the day. I don't know if you guys know this about me, a little secret hidden talent, which I still possess, because I was just dancing like the other day. But I was a bit of a dancer, not only as a performer, but I would teach it. I used to do choreography. So Breakin' was the perfect movie for me, but I think Breakin' was the one that really inspired me to do it. You know, with Breakin' there, I saw it recently. Again, inebriated, and Breakin' 2 Electric Boogaloo came on, and I could not have been more disgusted with what I saw. Like, this is a horrible film. What the fuck was I thinking? But back in the day, it was dope. This is why I tell people, wrestling fans, it's like, I miss the Attitude Era. Grow up. because it's never going to be the same way from when you were a kid. When I was a kid and we're watching this shows, I thought it was the shit. But the people older than me probably thought that we're all shit. They're like, oh, that's shitty. No one's ever going to do that. And then, you know, it just kind of happens that way. It's just like, all right, you skip them because they fucking with you, and you give yourself to the right person, and that's it. You know, so that's that. That's my movie, and whether or not it held up. So thank you again to Jose Rivera for sending in the question. I don't have to do one fucking question. It seems like I get the one question, you know, every time I ask. I could use a couple more. You don't have to consolidate your you don't have to consolidate your fucking questions. Everything works out. So thank you, Jose Rivera, for the damn question. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for downloading. Thank you guys for sharing, and of course, thank you guys for enjoying. This is AJ Orsini, episode 34. Tune in next week. AJOUM.podbean.com.
At my house. Listen to my daddy so. Ocean is the extra line.